Okay, so today we are putting the iPhone 14 Pro up against the Google Nexus S. Of course, I'm kidding. We're not doing a comparison. I just honestly, let's put the iPhone aside because I honestly just wanted to show you guys. I found this device, okay? That was my first Android. It wasn't my first Android. Yeah. No, it was my second Android, technically. My first Android was the Galaxy S1, which I lost a long time ago. But this was the Google Nexus S. It was a partnership between Google and Samsung with the Nexus line, and it's not actually booting up. It's stuck on the the Google screen, because I think it bricked because of the fact that back in those days, I used to install ROMs on the phone all the time, particularly ROMs that made it look more like an iPhone. So I just ended up eventually getting an iPhone. Can I say though, if I was doing the whole iPhone versus this phone thing, this phone would get a point for having a headphone jack. I know in that day and age, not, it's really not ideal. I mean, no one uses the headphone jack, and it makes it harder for them to make the phones water resistant. Okay, also, don't mind all the dust and wear you see here. I tried cleaning it off the best I reasonably could for you guys, because the thing about these phones, they were not water resistant. This had IP0 rating, okay? Not water resistant at all. If you sprinkled a bit of water on it, most likely it just died. But yeah, anyway, I bricked this apparently a long time ago. Bricking is a term for those of you guys that don't know, that aren't into technology like that or anything. It usually is just brick. I'm just going to tell you, I'll turn it over here so you guys don't see the Google logo all the time, but it has a Google logo on the back as well as the Samsung. This video is not sponsored by either one of them. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys something that I thought was kind of cool that I found. Okay, so the thing about the phone, pretty cool, honestly. It was at the time, I really enjoyed it quite a bit. It actually has a removable battery. Not many phones they do. And I don't remember if this one had a SD card slot, but Google phone did have SD card slots back in the day. I don't think they do now. iPhone doesn't either, so I can't really give the point to either one. I'm not knocking either one. That would remember back in the day, one camera, one light thing, and then here's the little, this is the speaker, believe it or not. Yeah, speaker down here. This was the speaker right here. It was actually low-key very annoying because while if you could easily cover it up by accident, and if you were sitting it down like this, what would happen is the speaker would just, yeah, not be great. It would be muffled and everything. So when you got a phone call, if you were having that like right next to your on your bed or something, your pillow or whatever could totally muffle it, so you couldn't even hear the phone call type thing. And then hit the little listening thing for speaker for when you're on the phone. Compared to, let's actually bring the iPhone here for a moment. And as you can see, things have changed quite a bit. The speaker grill, you can't even really see it on the iPhone. But it lets you like zoom in, look closely type thing because it is along the very top. Yeah. And then the camera, well, honestly, the camera cutout is pretty much the same. It hasn't really changed a lot. I mean, Apple got a lot better at hiding the camera cutout because of the fact that, they have this island. The highlanded island, really, the dynamic island. The dynamic island that the iPhone has, it's really just to hide the notch situation thing at the top for the camera cutout type whatnot because people didn't like that design. But that's a little behind the scenes thing. But yeah, I just thought this would be cool to show you guys and tell you guys a little bit of the backstory. As you can see, okay, so these buttons, these are capacitive technically, but they're not part of the screen. Like, I believe nowadays, wait, is it actually starting up? You guys might get to see it boot up. I thought I whatchamacallit, bricked the phone ages ago, but you guys are actually getting to see it boot up. Yes, phones took a while to boot up back in the day, okay? It wasn't like instant, oh, I'm going to turn off and on my phone, then in 5 seconds it's on again. It's you just got done turning it off type thing. Phones actually took a while to boot up. That's why our boot up screens were so flashy, like this screen is right here. It's a little flashier on camera than it is in real life, but it's still pretty flashy in real life as well. But yeah, I digress. I do want to say that this is honestly, this is low-key bringing back memory. Like I said, this was my second ever Android phone. Not my second ever smartphone, but my second ever Android phone, because there was technically a phone before this, before Android, because that wasn't a BlackBerry. Because at that time, every company was racing to discover sort of touchscreen stuff because it was the age of touch screens. Everyone wanted touch screen this, touch screen that, and then the idea of a touch screen phone. Everyone loved that idea. So, of course, Android came out with Android phones. Actually, there are lots of Android phones in existence. Contrast to iPhones, as you might know, which iPhones are actually, iPhones. They're iPhones. I don't know what to say about them, except for they don't have, Android has a bit of a fragmentation thing going on, but it always had that. Well, that's because different manufacturers, because hit the thing about Android. Android used to be 100% open source. Now I think technically Android itself might be open source, but the Google apps aren't. I don't really know the legal issue on that. Feel free to let me know if you guys know about that. But I do know something about the Google apps that it's not 100% on the up and up to have unregistered with Google and have their apps or something like that. Or maybe that's all resolved now. That was an issue last time I looked into it, which is why some companies actually didn't have Google Apps on their phone at all. Instead, companies, in order to get around that, made their own app stores, which no one really liked because the App Store didn't include many apps because developers would have to specifically put that app in that store in order to do anything with it. But yeah, I'm going to have to end the video here. I really would have loved to for you guys to see this fully boot up, but it's taking way too long. As you thought, it took a ridiculous amount of time to even get to this screen. At least we know that it's not bricked, or maybe it is bricked. I don't know. Maybe maybe it's always taken this long and I just don't remember it taking this long, but I think that it's longer. Maybe it's because it's booting from being dead for over 10 years, far over 10 years. I don't know. Maybe I'm bringing it back to life and I'm expecting too much from a fast boot. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. Feel free to let me know your first phone comment section below. Was it iPhone? Was it old Android? Was it a BlackBerry? Blackberries were a thing back in the day. So yeah, I believe BlackBerry even released a phone that they tried to keep up with the whole touch screen type trend thing, but they really couldn't. And yeah, also Android released a phone that looked like a BlackBerry. Weird times. Weird times. But yeah, I digress. I'm going to end it off here. Like I said, I just thought this would be a fun little video. Those of you guys that made it to the end, I appreciate it. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.